Hello everyone and welcome to Snap Take, and I'm just going to say this straight up. This meta is fire. This meta is absolutely incredible in Marvel Snap right now. Nerfing Galacta, a really controversial move, has very much opened up what we're doing in Marvel Snap. Starting with Clea, who has been thus far far better than expected. She's got a real home in what seems like a real meta deck. We've got a deck that's absolutely destroying Conquest, a top 10 deck for you, and just a Thor's deck like you've never seen. The meta is wide open. There's so much cool stuff, so many different decks that can compete. Let's start with Clea, who, if you missed it, yesterday's video was on Comic Book Click, where we went over Clea. So a quick overview of Clea: she's a 1/2. After this card permanently gains power, add a Flames of Faltine to your hand, and she can gain power either in hand or in play, not in deck, which means no Surge or cards like that. But fine, afflict an enemy card here with -3 power is Flames of Faltine. That's incredibly strong. It turns out Flames of Faltine is absolutely great. Clea is still a bit of a pain in the butt to use, but when you can make her work, she absolutely sings. For example, in this deck from Crazy. This is Crazy's Easy Clea, and you have a ton of ways to buff this card here, right? The easiest way is you drop it and you play Kahori on either turn 3 or turn 4 thanks to Surge or Zabu. If you get that going, you have to put like 3 or 4 Flames of Faltine, and you're just like, all right, let's go to town. I'm gonna give you like -12 at all these locations. Good luck figuring out where. And as I'm doing so, I can move around my Werewolf by Night. All that stuff is great. You can also get lucky with Gwenpool hits in hand or Galacta when you play it to the board. That's not a million ways, right? But it does seem to be enough to make Clea a very powerful card in this list. This list is also just really great for Werewolf by Night because we just have Clea plus Merlin. Means we have all the spells we want so that we can move Werewolf without clogging ourselves. We've got all the big fours, Galacta, Gwenpool, and Kahori, which are the 4 big power 4s that we can play early with Surge when we want to. We've got just a splash of Fenris Wolf, Gladiator, and Shang-Chi because it's powerful. It's not really the purpose of the deck, but it's here as an extra spice. And then, of course, Kahori with Shaw is just lane winning. If your opponent doesn't have Shang-Chi, if you go Clea, let's say for argument pass, Shaw, Kahori, oh my goodness. Or Clea, Merlin, Shaw, Kahori, you've got a ton of cards in hand, and just like you end up with just this like 12 power Shaw, you end up with like 3 or 4 Flames of Faltine in hand, and then you're just good to go. You play a Werewolf next turn and Flames, and then you play a Merlin spell and like something else the next turn, and Gladiator the next turn, and Fenris the next turn, and you just win. This is wild. The creator of this list is Crazy, multiple-time #1 player on the Infinite Leaderboard last February and March, I believe. Crazy I Am is at twitch.tv/Crazy I Am if you want to watch him stream. This deck needs Clea, Werewolf, Gwenpool, Kahori, Gladiator, and Fenris. Alright, so I don't think you actually necessarily need Gladiator and Fenris. They can be any good 3, that's an on reveal, and any good 2. So if you felt like trying to run, I don't know, Kate Bishop or Collector or something, that would be totally fine in those spots, but Gladiator and Fenris are a package, so it's hard to say you need one or not the other. Well, Galacta is the worst of the buff cards in this list. Her nerf really has made her just a sort of a support piece instead of this really central figure. You can try Captain Marvel in that spot. If you don't have Shaw, you do lose a lot of power. Because you are generating so many cards, Collector ends up being a decent enough shout. Okay, so Clea, we've talked about already her use, right? You hit her with Kahori, you hit her with Gwenpool a couple times, and all of a sudden you've got multiple Flames of Faltine. Those move around the Werewolf while also messing up your opponent's board real bad. Zabu lets you play 4s on 3, as does Surge. That's really useful. As useful as 4s on 3, though, is being able to play a 3 and a 2 on turn 5, because on turn 5 you want to get out your Fenris Wolf. You want to be able to play Galacta, Gwenpool, Kahori with your Fenris Wolf, and that should be a priority, but you need to hit one of them with Surge or Zabu first. Merlin, meanwhile, gives you more spells for Werewolf, gives you some location control, gives you a way to get rid of cards. If you play Clea and then you play Kahori, Kahori is being mean, it just doesn't decide to hit Clea. Or you've buffed Clea and like you think your opponent might have a Killmonger, or you played your Zabu, or you're out of use of Surge. Shove him in the deck, make him a higher power card, have fun. Werewolf by Night is just really huge. We've got Merlin, we've got Clea. We don't have a ton of on reveals, right? But Merlin and Clea often mean more than enough. Shaw loves our Galacta, our Gwenpool, and our Kahori. He particularly loves Kahori, but Gwenpool is not half bad there. Gladiator's just big. Keyword big. Shaw's keyword big too, but Shaw takes work. Gladiator takes no work. He just pops out, is big, and gives you a thing to bring back with Fenris Wolf. You are not going over the top of everything, so Shang-Chi does that. And then you have the 3 powerful 4s. Kahori is meta now. I told you Kahori would be great. It took a Galacta nerf. Galacta was so good, she was taking up all the real estate. She was sucking up all the oxygen from all these other 4s. Now that she's more reasonable, Kahori is a great card. It's in a ton of the best Victoria hand lists. It's in this list, which is absolutely great. This one has a 75% win rate in 32 games. It's not a ton of games, but at high infinite, that is hugely impressive. Turn 1, you want Zabu over Clea if you have Kahori in hand. If not, you're going to try and hold Clea. Turn 2, Surge over Merlin. Turn 3, we can go Werewolf or Shaw if Kahori over Gladiator. If we're going to go Kahori on 4, if we went like Clea into Merlin into Shaw, we're going to drop Kahori just fine. We'll play that over Werewolf. Then we can play Werewolf on turn 5 just fine and start moving it with our million Flames of Faltians. And that's better than Gladiator. Turn 4, we're going Kahori or Gwenpool is better than Galacta. Turn 5, we're going a 4 plus a 2 or a 3 plus a 2, as the case may be. And then turn 6, Shang plus whatever, and then we just want to trigger Fenrir's Wolf and move around our Werewolf. Holy crap. This list is so cool. This list is so cool. I don't know what else to say. You're using the Flames of Faltine as -3 power, right, as a way to really help your board. But the big caveat with that is, like, even if your opponent has Luke Cage, as long as you're moving that Werewolf around, it's still worth it to play that one. You're not clogging yourself, you're just getting all this extra power. You're making your board bigger and more unpredictable. This one's a monster. Play it. Live it, love it. If you get Clea. I don't know if you should get Clea yet. I never know the 2 days in if you should get the new card. But this deck does feel like the real deal. We're going to get to the best Conquest deck ever in a minute, but before we do, please hit that sub, like, and comment button if you're willing to. It would really mean the world in helping to support the channel. Sub, like, and comment. In addition, we're giving away our last Merlin this week. We will announce the winner toward the end of the week, so make sure you are ready for that. We're having a little trouble doing giveaways for Europeans right now, non-Americans right now. Even Canadians have been a pain in the butt. But we figured out how to, like, at least use Google gift cards for Americans, so please leave a comment later in this video. I'll tell you what, if you'd like to win your Merlin Season Pass. All right, so Sizer went 18-0. He went 3-0 in Gold Conquest, and then he went 15-0 in Infinity Conquest with this list. This feels like one of the best move lists ever. He says this feels like the best list ever, period, which is Sizer hyperbole. He's Sizer, he's really great with move, but this is disgusting. So what used to happen with move is you used to have to, like, wait for the right turns to do things so you can get a bunch of combos, and having access to Cloak, Hellion, and Topaz means you don't. It means you can just do things like drop a Topaz into the middle lane where you already have Madam Web and Craven, right? And then, like, you can move that again, and then, like, oh no, you just cloak that away, and now you've just got this stupidly powerful card. But you can do that with, like, everything, because it's Cloak and it's Hellion. Hell, there's times you can Cloak on 4 and move everything to the left. Hellion on 5, move everything to the right. And if Topaz is on the right, then Hellion goes out, and now you have extra space and unpredictability. And oh no, your opponent's going to try and beat you. Well, your opponent doesn't have Shang, you just Heimdall them. Your opponent does have Shang, you've got Armor and Cosmo to be like, no thank you. This one's a monster. The creator of this list, the best move player in the world, Sizer, Twitch.tv, so Sizer2654. He took this list and climbed to rank 5 after chilling around rank 7 or 8 for most of the week, because this is an absolute monster of a list. Hellion, Topaz, Madam Web are your needed cards. That's right, we don't need Aranya. So Ghost Spider is here largely to unclog ourselves. Topaz can be a problem if we don't see Madam Web. We need to make sure we see Hellion Cloak, so Ghost Spider does our job for us in getting like that extra card out of our way. It can also pull a card back into the Topaz lane, letting us compete in that lane. Human Torch, along with Dagger and Vulture, are the big cards we're trying to move. If we can slam a Human Torch, Dagger, or a Vulture into a Topaz, and then we can play Cloak and or Hellion, we've fundamentally won the game. Or we have a Madam Web there. Madam Web is the most consistent move card. Topaz is the fastest move card. That's the role of those 2 cards. They're amazing. Dagger is your 3rd best scaler, but still a good scaler. Armor is protection from Shang-Chi. Craven gets stupidly huge, often bigger than Dagger. You stick Topaz in the left lane and Craven in the middle lane, and then you just slam cards down in the middle, and you watch Craven go up, and then you play Cloak in one lane, and then all the cards move over with Craven. Then you play Hellion in another lane. All the cards move over with Craven, and he just ends up stupidly huge, like unbeatably big. Cloak is and move all cards. Like, the beauty of this list of Cloak and Hellion is that you can just drop move cards. As long as you've got like one move, Cloak and Hellion then mean you've got enough other on-board moves to really go over the top, which makes this so hard to deal with. Cosmo's more Shang protection, Shadow King protection too for that one. And then of course we have Cloak and Hellion are both like equally good. It depends what you need, right? If you haven't played all your movers, Cloak lets you play extra movers or protection along with Cloak, while Hellion says, I don't want my opponent to move stuff. There's games where you really, really don't want that, and Hellion allows for that. while also just being really great stats. And then, of course, you can choose to end the game with either Armor or Cosmo, or just Heimdall it all over and say, let's frickin' go. 18-0, 1 gold, and 3 Infinity Conquest borders. Turn 1 pass, turn 2 web over Craven mid, turn 2 topaz or a mover on web, turn 4 movers on topaz or web, a mover like a dagger here on topaz, along with a man web or along with a cloak is really solid. Turn 4, movers on topaz or web. Sorry, I said that already. Turn 5, we want to go cloak or Hellion. Sometimes we'll remember go cloak on 4, but cloak plus or Hellion. And then turn 6, either Heimdall or Cosmo and armor. 10 million points. Immune to most interaction. I don't know what else to say. Go play this list. If you're at all good with move, and if you're not good with move, spend the time with this list. Get good with move. This list is a monster. I don't know how to make it clear. Unless your entire meta is Shadow King, and even then kind of probably are okay. This is just a point machine, and it just is a cube machine. Go play it. You're gonna love it. Hey, come check me out on stream at twitch.tv/PulseLaser. I'm actually not sure when the next time I'll be live is. I'm hoping to be live relatively soon. I'm packing for my big move. For anyone who has missed the past bunch of videos, I say this at least once a video. I'm moving to Vietnam on the 15th of July. I arrive in Vietnam on the 17th of July. So while I'm organizing everything, the Twitch might be on hold. I'm going to do my best to get as many streams in. Make sure you're following to help us out. In addition, our season pass question, if you'd like to win that last Merlin, what kind of trip do you like? Do you like to go outdoors, someplace warm, someplace cold? Do you want to go sightseeing in the nature? Do you want to go sightseeing in a bunch of man-made stuff like cities? Do you do touristy stuff? Do you look for hidden stuff? What kinds of vacations do you like? If you'd like to win a PAX code this week, please follow me at youtube.com/@comicbookclick, where I release a video once a week. Also, don't forget the streams. They will be back, I promise. Except we got Burrs' new hand. It's chilly. It's Burrs' new hand. Burrs is our friend who's been in the top 10 team for leaderboard multiple times and comes up with really creative takes on meta decks. This one is hilariously good. I really, really love this list. We've got, Prodigy is a little bit of a secret monster in this, and he added Sage because of Prodigy. Let's talk about the list in a minute. So this does need Sage, Victoria Hand, Misery, and Kate Bishop. Prodigy or Frigga can be Moonstone. You need one of the two. Armor can be Juggernaut. Armor is here largely because we're dealing with the big Dormammu thing. Dormammu's decks are doing so well, you just play Armor and say, no, I'm not doing that. Iron Patriot can be Mirage and can also replace Surge. I think I would actually replace Iron Patriot and Mirage as a general rule here, just for the record. Although Iron Patriot offers you a cool pattern. This deck is all about the 18 different cool combos it has. We'll talk about them as we go through, but the hood gives you demons. Getting multiple demons with Misery is the name of the game here. If you have 2 demons, you're just cooking. You have 2 8 to 10 power demons. You should be able to win that because of those stats. But you also have what we call the Burrs combo, because Burrs invented this combo as far as I know, where you play the hood on 1 or 2, you play Iron Patriot and Demon on the hood lane on 3, and then you play Misery on that lane on 4. You have a 15 power lane on turn 4. That's usually good enough to win that location, give you the Iron Patriot card, and an extra demon, which is usually enough to win you the second Iron Patriot card. It's a monster combo. This list has multiple other combos. It has the entirely obvious Victoria Hand combo. Victoria Hand, Frigga, play more Victoria Hand, win, right? That more Victoria Hand should ideally be copied by Prodigy, which really does help. The other thing you can do with Iron Patriot that's really nice is you can play Iron Patriot on 2 and let your opponent force to compete. If they have Prio, you play Sage on 3. You may win that lane, you may not. Sage is often a 3/6, right? You have 9 power there, that's reasonable. Then on the last turn of the game, though, you play whatever. You play a Miko or a Demon along with Prodigy in that lane. Prodigy being that second Sage is an absolute Shang-proof lane winner. So Prodigy can hit that Victoria Hand, it can hit that Sage, both for huge power. You don't have the most power in this deck, and you don't have the extra energy to play a Shang at the end of the game, so that means Shadow King. Nico gives you an extra way to get rid of Hood if you don't see Misery. It's also an extra copy spell for Victoria Hand or Sage or whatever else. Surge, this isn't an expensive deck, but you do want to play a lot of cards, so Surge really helps. Armor is here. Again, there's a lot of Dormammu stuff still floating around. Kate Bishop is almost your backup Hood. It's just, 1-drops cheap cards that you can play to buff out Victoria Hand. Iron Patriot, we've talked about. Sage, we've talked about. Also, Sage is totally fine on the last turn of the game. Don't forget that you can Frigga Sage. It will keep the power after being frigged. And of course, we have Prodigy, again, copying these cards. Misery, meanwhile, Misery and Gwenpool, I think, are now the two best fours in Marvel Snap. And now that Galacta has fallen down several tiers. So Misery is an absolute monster and must-have card right now. So Burrs climbed into the top 10 with this. He's, again, likely to finish top 10 this season. He then stopped playing it and fell down to 16. But this is clearly a lit deck that can get you in the top 10. Turn 1 Hood, turn 2 Hand at Frigga over Surge over Kate equals Iron Patriot. Turn 3 Frigga for Hand, Sage to set up Prodigy, Iron Patriot and Demon, basically whatever combo you have. For anyone who's new here, I guess I should have said this earlier, green text means that this is a potential snap condition, white text means please snap this. Turn 4 Misery or 2/2. This is your last turn to play Iron Patriot and get the benefit. If you are playing 2/2, make sure Hand is second in case you can Frigga it next. Turn 5 we got Hood and Prodigy or 3/2. We can also generate cards. We can play Hood and Misery here too. We have lots of options here. And then Demon, Arrows, plus Prodigy on Sage, or Victoria Hands end the game. Throw a Shadow King in as you so can. What a deck. I don't know what else to say. What a deck. Today, I'm telling you, today's decks are just home runs. Sometimes, like, these decks are like, all right, I did a little work to figure it out. I have like 9 decks to share with you, and I just picked 4 amazing decks to share today. I love today's decks. Let's do one more, but first, if you're interested in checking out some streams while I'm away, especially, check out the stream team. Today is Wednesday, so Gaming with Flash X will be playing a bunch of these lists around from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Go check out one of our homies. He deserves all the love and support in the world. Egon Spengler's Thor Projection. Yeah, this list is so cool. I don't know what else to say. This list is so cool. I'm not even going to mention how you can use Astral, but like, hey, if you got a Wong out and like your hand is White Tiger and Doom, drop that Astral, friend. Like, drop that Astral and drop something else. You have so many ways to put out so many points with this list. Egon Spengler is a top player. He hangs out with our friends Alexander Isaac and Johnny B. Good, and this is a fantastic idea of a deck that really works. This one, I gotta send this to Safety, because if I know Safety Blade, he's gonna go crazy when he sees this. Egon Spengler, with thanks to Johnny B. Good for sending me this list. This one is also going to need everything high series. I'm really sorry. So King Eitri is here specifically for the Thors. You play one of the Thors if you don't have Jane, or you want to play White Tiger instead of Jane, or Misery, whatever, instead of Jane. You can just use Eitri and immediately get the hammer. It's nice, because we can use hammers multiple times, using Wong, using Misery, and using Misery and Firehair. All that works great. Firehair gives us those extra triggers, but also if we play... we've got 7 turns a lot of time with Magic, but if we play a White Tiger or Doom on Wong, and then we Misery that, or Astral Projection, that is the case may be, we just get a bunch of extra triggers from Firehair. Why not get a bunch of extra 1/8s or 3/5s? 6/5s. Then we've got Astral Projection. Astral Projection is, again, usually trying to hit White Tiger or Doom. Feel free to do so, especially if on Wong. That double trigger is great. Ironheart's here just because it's a decent power buff. It's not amazing in this list. Maybe it wants to be Cassandra Nova, maybe not. But what it does do is it goes really well with Wong, especially at the end of the game. It gives you this now pretty big power boost out of nowhere. So like that +3 to 2 cards is nice. And it's just a decent card. If you play Misery on it, you get the benefit twice without the downside. So don't be afraid, like if you know you have Wong, to go Ironheart and then drop Wong on that. And you've got that extra from later. Magic gives you enough turn to do all the stuff. Thor is really great here. A lot of power between Wong and Misery. Same thing for Beta Ray Bill, who goes completely crazy, especially in combo with Ironheart. Wong is you just want to drop. You don't want to play Beta or Thor on Wong usually, I think, but you do want to play the hammers on Wong and just watch them go burr. Numbers go burr. Misery does the same thing. Misery on Wong is completely insane. White Tiger on Wong is completely insane. Especially Misery with White Tiger is amazing. Also, this is a 5-cost card. Feel free to Astral Projection that up, and then you can still have the energy to play like turn 6. You can play Astral Projection and Ironheart and a couple of hammers. Enjoy. All on Wong. Then we've got Jane to go get our hammers. Jane is especially useful if we go Thor and Beta Ray. If we only see one, Eitri is usually better, although 5/9 is not bad. And then, of course, we have Doom. We can make all the Doom bots. Turn 1, Eitri. Turn 2, Firehair. Turn 2, Thor over Magic over Ironheart. Turn 3, Bill over Wong over Thor. More I've thought about the deck, over Magic. Turn 5, Magic into 2, or Jane, better than Tiger. And now anything on 6 could be 6 or 7. Wong Misery and Hammers, or Doom Wong Jane, or Misery on Tiger and Ironheart. And then you just win, right? This deck puts up a ton of power out of nowhere. No one knows what this is. Egon, congratulations. You're a genius, just like your namesake. This deck is fan-frickin-tastic. That's it for today. Certain tier support on our Patreon come with honor. Thanks. We'll be back tomorrow with some more absolutely amazing decks for you. I'm telling you, I'm overloaded with decks right now. So check out patreon.com/snapjudgments if you want early access to those decks. First, our patron of the month, Jonesy Snap 22. Make sure you check him out on YouTube, please. Our patron of the month. Thank you to Abigail Gislin, AAG, Mandatory Burnout, regardless, LAB, Inc., I am Frostman, Hota, Neverete, Brian Bryan of the Prime Mind app. Please check out the Prime Mind app. If you're interested in any mindfulness stuff, any like coaching, check out the Prime Mind app. It's absolutely great. Next up, we've got Ryan Burke, Ryan Woodsnap, Ran Wrench, Kier Tixley, Koire, Kazushi, Archangel, Freak Gay, Black Dahlia, Pyro, Perforos, The Goat Seeker, Code, Hallowed, Only Fox, Synth, Ratnik, Absolute Shannon, Nightmare, Dirty Casual, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Brian, Philly, Philip Rakovich, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Bizza, Black Sheep is 23, Extra Sweet and Skippy G, Rhyming Friends, Jessica Gamble, Sup Jess, Mr. Slush Death, If You Nasty, The King of Bros, Bro Up the Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Steve-O 131, Kid, Fiona, Clam, Colonel Forbin, Rob Silvan, David D. Wingfield, Stephen Brian Coffin, Justin Smart, Jason B., Mr. Greg Staria, Matt V. and Corey, Real Name Down, Corwin, John Q. and Jimmy Mick, Q Town, Stout, 8th Sage, One Big Bad, Milkman for Reals, Cactus Jack, Reapser, Yo Marco, Ted Bro, Good Pro Joe, Stepsis Joe, Dick Garlow, lots of O, Hi O Town, Models Not Supreme, Pickety Boom Bot, Green Goblin, Bricks to Click, jumped over there. Hey Bricks. Love your life move. Unibot, V2, and Flan 56, Spectrumix, Food, Ocularis, Matt H, DJ Mike, I just don't frickin' flex, Nick, the Greek Geek, hey Nicky, Toxic Soul King, Zodric 74, the King of Hello, JJ, 10 Man Falcon, Thor Newman, 2 Dies, the Great Laura Devs, snap on this podcast, please, the Pirate King Tucker, and of course, Gunny T, the T stands for Snap Judgments. I'll see you tomorrow, because we don't miss days here on this channel. Peace.